Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you only had space to grow one food item only, be this in a garden or in a pot, I've got exactly the one thing for you. Stay tuned in. So guys, the other day, hopefully you have seen the video I published, actually live video, when I had the interview with Mark, the ball-hat farmer. We talked about the insecurity, the food insecurity that's coming our way this winter and the coming years. And this is all due, a lot of it due to the really bad weather we had. And at the same time, a lot of it also is due to the government schemes when they're trying to get people out of farming. So you might have seen this in news, in many articles and everywhere online. They have been threatening us basically with vegetable shortages for this winter, specifically things like carrots, beetroots and potatoes. And I've done guys videos before encouraging people how to grow things. However, I do totally understand that space is an issue for many of us. However, if I can suggest the one thing that for you guys to grow, be it in a garden or in a pot, that will be Swiss chard or perpetual spinach. Those guys are absolutely superheroes in the kitchen, guys, and they look really good in the garden. As you can see, guys, here I'm growing them currently in a pot, not in the greenhouse, that do grow outside really easily, and at the same time I grow them in the raised beds. These things are very simple to look after. All you have to do just to protect them from birds, especially the red stem one, because birds seem to like to pick on those. However guys, the perpetual spinach and the chard are extremely good for us, and they actually count as one of the superfoods. So just to give you guys an example, we're talking about the Swiss chard. You've got fiber, you have protein, you have fats, you have vitamin A, C and K, you have folate, you have calcium, you have iron, you have magnesium and you have potassium. So those guys, you can see, full of nutrients. And the beauty of that as well, guys, you can actually dehydrate this and make this into the powder to store it for long term. However, the reason, guys, I'm encouraging you to do this, because after we had this discussion on the channel, many of you were a little bit uneasy and actually a little bit somewhat panicky because what it is coming our way, and what if you can't actually grow yourself potatoes and things like this. However, Mark also suggested just to be able to grow something to help you, and especially we're talking about the nutritional value, and this is, for me, is actually number one crop you should be growing. So here, literally, I have myself a rainbow chard, and I have a pack of perpetual spinach. What those guys means, guys, the perpetual spinach is not like a normal spinach that grows really short and you just pick the leaves. Those things like chard grow into really tall plants, and the idea is, guys, you keep harvesting the leaves on the outside and the plant just continue growing up. The beauty of those, if you follow it and you watch my gardening videos, perpetual spinach and the chard actually overwinters really well. It is quite a cold tolerant, so I had my chard literally grown since last year, and it took us through. I fed the chickens, it fed ourselves with the leaves. Another positive point of them, guys, because they grow into quite a chunky plant, you can eat the leaves like fresh when you eat them small, and if you let them grow, obviously you can use that as a spinach substitute. At the same time, the stalks are also edible. Yes, you have to stew them, but they are, which it gives you a little bit more substance and not just the mushy leaves. And this is why I will pick this as my number one thing for you to grow. Again, super simple, guys, in a pot. You don't have to have a lot of space. Yes, many people say like potatoes is a great survival vegetable to grow. Absolutely, if you have the space, but potato does take quite a lot of space for not a lot. But because those guys continue growing up and you keep harvesting them, they're, to me, an absolute winner. So let me show you. It is really simple to plant this up, and I'm going to be planting some more because I do want to make sure that my family and surrounding families actually have an ability to feed themselves, so have some nutritional value if we can't get vegetables from supermarket. So let me show you how it's done. So guys, this is the pack of chard seeds that I have here. The beauty of those seeds as well, guys, they are actually quite chunky in size. Do excuse this, the lighting, the sun is right behind me. But look at that, see, they are pretty sizable, so they make it quite easy for you guys to plant up. So all I've done in here, just to put a little bit of soil in there, put those guys quite closely, because you can thin them out. They do really well together. You just pluck them out. I'll show you on the bigger pot in a minute. Okay, just dump them in there. Because the time is pushing on and we are months behind really on sowing the chard, but it is still possible. I'm choosing to do this inside, so let me just get them in. So all they're in there now. All we have to do is just sprinkle a little bit of compost over the top. Okay, give it a water, and this is as simple as that. So this is close up, guys, of the pot, and I did that earlier. As you can see, I've got here, they're planted quite close together. They will continue growing this way, but it is very, very easy just to plug them out and you can plant them on. So the idea is, guys, right, you can leave them like this if you want to harvest them as a smaller leaves, but alternatively just plug this out and plant it on somewhere in the garden. So guys, as with the pot now, because I have a greenhouse, it is going to stay here for a little while. If you don't have a greenhouse, all you have to do, you put a little bit of like a food bag over the top of this to create more like a greenhouse effect. And you can either keep this outside or you can take this inside, guys. Chard will germinate quite well inside, like many things, especially now because the days are quite light. Well, saying that, not sunny, but actually quite light, they should be able to be okay. So bring them to the stage, guys, till they are quite sizable, and then put them outside, because the nights at the moment are quite okay. And as I did say, these guys are quite a cold tolerant. So let me show you what happens afterwards when it's been growing for a little while. So guys, this is the chard on a second season. You can see it's actually gone to seed. You can still eat the leaves. It is not advisable because the taste changes a little bit. However, guys, they do look rather pretty. And the idea is, if you do leave this in the ground, guys, they will just self-seed and continue growing by themselves. So you don't even have to be worrying about it for next year. So guys, this is as simple as that. So please do me a favor, if you do choose to grow at least one thing this winter, guys, please choose chard or perpetual spinach. You won't regret it. No, guys, it's not going to feed the world. It's not going to really fill you up like a potato does, but it will offer you some nutritional value. And this is where we're trying to can't really stress enough, guys. The stuff that is currently in the supermarket, you've seen this already. You know the state of the vegetables. Everything has been pre-produced or imported over the hundreds of miles, and they lose all the value after just sitting there. So by doing this, you're just guaranteed to give your family that little bit of a kick of a nutritional value, and of course a great taste as well. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will do a few more videos to show you how to grow certain things, and we're going to try to fight the temperatures and things like this. I'm not intending not to give up, and I'm going to continue planting stuff and experimenting and see what happens, what extra things we can grow in the winter. But guys, please, one thing, just go and get yourself a pack of chard and plant it up. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.